Hello lovelies, today I'm doing another size inclusive pattern roundup. If you haven't been here before, this is Amy of Melbourne and my name is Amy, obviously. This is a place for creative weirdos and makers to watch me be a creative weirdo and maker. In today's pattern roundup, we're going to be looking at the fashion aesthetic Whimsy Goth. The main difference between traditional goth and this new Whimsy Goth is the layers of texture and how they come together. It also has a fairly defined silhouette that most people try and stick to. Whimsy Goth takes the goth colour palette and adds a sprinkle of cottagecore and mermaid core and a little bit of 90s grunge. That's basically Nancy Downs as a fashion movement. Or it would be if you crossed over Penny Lane with Celine. Ta-da! Whimsy Goth doesn't have a huge variety of different pieces, individual pieces, but it plays a lot with the different textures and fabrics that can be used. Think lots of fringing, lace, velvet, mohair if you're doing some sort of crochet or knit piece, mesh, stretch mesh, lots of mixing of woven and knit fabrics together. All of those combined and the different textures of them is what makes Whimsy Goth so interesting. Most of the time Whimsy Goth sticks to a very monochromatic black colour palette, but just adds all of those different textures together for interest and difference. As always, I have the links to everything down below. When you're looking, the links for Petite Stitchery Co are affiliate links, but of course you can just go to their website if you would prefer than to use my affiliate links. Fair enough. If you do scroll down, maybe consider giving the video a like, even subscribing or leaving a comment. I would really appreciate any of those. I'll also have links to all of my other pattern roundups at the end of the video, so stick around for that. As always with my pattern roundups, every pattern that I include has to have a maximum hip size of 55 inches, which is approximately 140 centimeters. If it doesn't meet up to that criteria, that's standard for size inclusivity, then I'm not interested in showcasing it here. The first key item that you definitely need if you're doing a Whimsy Goth capsule wardrobe is some sort of cami, camisole or slip dress. I have 3 different patterns for that. 1 knit, 2 woven, different necklines, so you've got a lot of variety. The first one I'm going to show you is a knit pattern. It is from Stitch Upon a Time and it is the Versa Cami. This cami pattern starts at a 27.5 inch hip and goes up to a 63 inch hip, which is 70 centimeters up to 160 centimeters. The first woven camisole pattern that I'm going to be showing to you is the Saltwater Slip by Friday Pattern Company. This camisole pattern has a basically straight across front at the bust. It has a little curve, but it's fairly straight. It also has a little bit more ease. It's a little bit more relaxed. It has 2 different length options, 1 short, 1 long with side slits. In terms of sizing, Friday Pattern Company starts at a 34 hip and goes up to a 63 inch, which is 83 centimeters up to 160 centimeters. The final cami pattern is from Designer Stitch and it's the Ashley Cami Slip pattern. This one is technically lingerie or sleepwear, but I mean, clothes are clothes. Depends what fabric you use them in, and to be honest, a lot of Whimsy Goth is very lingerie sleepwear inspired, so it's just part of the look. This one has a different neckline to the previous one. This one is more of a deep V neckline, very spiky, very 20s, it's very cute. Their sizing starts at a 34 inch hip and goes up to a 58 inch. Which is 86 centimeters up to 146 centimeters. Also as part of this pattern, they do have instructions on how to include more of those lace embellishments and work with those more finicky fabrics. So that could be a really good starting base for Whimsy Goth because you do need a lot of those for it to look right. Now we've got tops. We're going to start with some blouses. The first blouse I'm going to show to you has short sleeves, and that is the Bellamy blouse pattern by Petite Stitchery Co. This one starts at a 35 hip, goes up to a 62 hip, which is 88 centimeters up to 153 centimeters. It has this beautiful gathered front across the bust, which is very 90s inspired and also very peak fashion right now. The next blouse pattern is by Stitch Witch Patterns and it's the Tudor blouse. This is great because it gives you 2 very distinct views. So on one side you have a button through blouse and flip it around. The other side you have a wrap top which is awesome and looks really beautiful. I also know a lot of people have hacked this pattern to make it into a dress, which is awesome. It has puffy sleeves, but could also probably have more of that drapey flutter sleeve that is more of a Whimsy Goth look. Starts at a 32-inch hip and goes up to a 60-inch hip, which in centimeters is 81 to 152.5 centimeters. Our final top pattern is a long sleeve pattern. This one is from Ellie and MAc, and it is the Day to Night tunic shirt. It can also be made as a dress, as most tops patterns can. This one is long sleeve, but it has a flutter sleeve put onto the end, basically. Very Whimsy Goth in it is a knit pattern, so it's for stretch fabrics. And in terms of sizing, it starts at a 33 hip, goes to a 62-inch, which is 80 up to 160. Now we're up to bottoms. Now for bottoms in Whimsy Goth, because it is a very femme-focused aesthetic, as they often are. In fact, it doesn't have, if you're looking at inspiration pictures of Whimsy Goth, you will notice that there isn't a lot of variety when it comes to gender, ethnicity, size. Yeah. However, I think that it would be really great to see a lot more of that diversity represented within the style, because it's a pretty cool style. Anyway, so skirts are a big thing. The first skirt that I'm going to show you is a classic peasant skirt for woven fabrics. This one is by Twig and Tail, and it's called the Meadow skirt. It doesn't have the different tiers like you would typically want to see in a peasant skirt, but it's very easy to add those tiers. This one has a really good waistband and has a fantastic size range. And pockets. Can't forget pockets. So in terms of size range, it is 33-inch all the way up to a 72-inch hip, which is 83 up to 183 centimeters. The next skirt is the Dezi skirt by Seamwork. The Dezi skirt is a bias cut skirt, but it's very much that classic, almost pencil skirt, but with a little bit more ease than that. And it goes down to knee length. Seamwork, their sizing is 35-inch hip up to a 58-inch hip, which is 89 to 147. The last skirt that I have from you is a split skirt from Petite Stitchery Co. It's the Stella split skirt. It has two splits, one for either leg, but it's for a knit fabric. This is very 90s goth, Whimsy Goth. And the size range is great. It's from 35-inch hip up to a 62-inch hip, which is 88 to 153 centimeters. The final bottoms that I have for you is a knit stretch flare legging. Like I said, there's not a lot of pants, shorts, any traditionally masculine options for Whimsy Goth. It's not a huge aesthetic in and of itself, so maybe that's why, let alone things that are size inclusive and everything else that I require. But yeah, it's there's not a lot. But there is one pant option that I saw a fair few times, and that is a pair of flare leggings. Very much reminds me of the early noughties. The flare leggings are from Petite Stitchery Co. again. They are the Hell's Bells flared leggings. Their size range is 35 to 62 inches, which is 88 to 153 centimeters again. Next thing is some of the layering outer pieces. So this is the bolero. I've got a knit option and a woven option for you. I don't know what it is about some of the new aesthetics and fashion in general where it just wants to add sleeves on or a vest. Maybe it's the mix and match options. Maybe it's an historic throwback. Maybe it's capitalism. Who knows? So you've got sleeves. These are boleros. They're going to go somewhat over your body. But some of the other patterns are literally, they're just like sleeves. Like it is full cardia, which is again from Petite Stitchery Co. To be honest, you could go to Petite Stitchery Co. and get absolutely every single pattern that you need for a Whimsy Goth wardrobe. Or Patterns for Pirates, another one. They've got heaps. Petite Stitchery Co. has the Stevie Summer Playsuit. This has a 34 to 61 inch hip, which is 87 to 153 centimeter hip. This is again one where it has a tighter sleeve with a flutter. It also comes with shorts because it's a full Playsuit thing. The woven bolero sleeve thingy, I've gone for Seamwork Win Cropped Tie Front Top. This one is, their size range is 34 to 64 inch hip, which is 86 to 162 centimeters. This has a little bit of a flare to the sleeve, but you'd probably want to exaggerate that more to make it the right silhouette for this look, though it could be really great as it is, and it looks like a really comfy thing to go over the top. I will also say that Friday Pattern Company has 2. Hello all, Editing Amy here, and I just wanted to assure you all that I'm not like turning into a zombie or a smurf. I dyed my hair and it makes my hands green whenever I touch my hair, and it was very fresh when I filmed this. Whoops, sorry. Of these sort of cropped tie front, tie back top numbers, with one with a skirt and one with a pair of pants. But they didn't have the right sleeve look. But if you are a fan of that brand, or you wanted it to be in more of a set rather than just a top, you can have a look at Friday Pattern Company. Now for dresses. Even though I've got a few dresses to show you, there actually wasn't a lot of dresses. It's more coordinating bits and pieces for Whimsigoth. I am showing you some. I've got 2 fairly tight options and one that's a little bit looser for those of us who aren't really big fans of tight knit dresses. From Patterns for Pirates, another one that has a lot of our patterns that would be really great for this aesthetic, and that's the red carpet dress. I picked this one because it's like that tight wiggle dress, but it has lots and lots and lots of options for how to put together the back, the front, the sleeves. It has lots of advice on how to get it to fit really nicely, as well as using velvet, which is, you know, a big staple fabric in this aesthetic. Patterns for Pirates 34 to 64 inch, which is 86 to 162 centimeter hip. Ellie and MAc Anticipation dress, and this is definitely like a full tight wiggle dress. It is a knee length or above the knee length dress, but it has full long sleeve options with a big flutter on them. There's also got a shorter sleeve option, which is great too, if that's something you're more interested in. The size range for Ellie and MAc is 33 inch up to 63 inch hip, which is 80 to 160 centimeters. The last dress I have for you is a bit of a stretch when it comes to Whimsigoth, but I wanted to give an option that had the really big bat wing style, you know, huge bell sleeves. And this is as close as I could find that was within the size range that I require to showcase a pattern. So this one's a new one. It's from Helen's Closet, and it is the Lawrence dress. In the pictures and everything, the sleeves are flutter sleeves, but they're very short. If you were to just extend the size of those sleeves straight out, then you would definitely get that big flutter sleeve that you're looking at, big bell sleeve I should say, that you're looking for this style of clothing. In terms of the size range, Helen's Closet starts at a 33 inch hip, which goes up to 62 inches, which is, according to them, 84 centimeters to 157 centimeters. I've been asked about this before in terms of like calculating the different metric imperial system. I don't calculate it as much as possible. I don't. I literally go straight off the designer's size chart. So it's up to them and their interpretation of that makes all the difference, but I don't do it myself. I agree, it feels like they change a smidgy bit depending on who's doing it. Now we're coming to the outer layer, and big drapey outer layers are very big with Whimsigoth. I want to make one. In fact, I have bought some stuff to make one myself because they look beautiful and they're a great addition to a simple dress, top, anything, so that you can just add that nice little bit of extra layer. The 2 that I have for you, the first one is for Patterns for Pirates, and it is the Summer Cover Up. This is one of the earliest patterns, and it's a very simple pattern. Has multiple back lines, like how it finishes off. And this has a size range of 33 inches up to 58 inches, which is 84 to 147 centimeters. The second one that I have for you is the LB Textiles Summerfield coat. This one is a coat, but it's very lightweight fabric coat. It has a short drop sleeve option or a long sleeve option, and honestly, it is peak Whimsigoth style. And I very, very much want to make this pattern. In terms of size range, LB Textile starts at a 39 inch hip and goes up to a 59 inch, which is 101 to 151 centimeters. The next thing I have for you is called a waspy. A waspy is a short corset that goes under the bust and is just for the waist. This is quite popular in the Whimsigoth style. I've seen it in lots of inspiration pictures, and it's a really great start to learning how to do corsetry. The pattern that I have for you is unfortunately behind a paywall because it's on Patreon. And because of that, I can't actually give you a lot of details about it, but I can tell you from some of the other patterns from this company that it will be up to the right size range. This is a pattern by Gertie, or Charm Patterns is her actual company. I literally can't even tell you the actual size range, but it looks really great. And I know in terms of her original waspy pattern from Simplicity that it was like cult classic corsetry because it was a really well drafted pattern. So I assume that this one will be as well. It is slightly different, of course, from that original one, but this is, yeah, Gertie's waspy pattern. Now I have some freebies because everyone loves freebies. The first freebie is just funny, but also if you're really into the goth fashion, like really into it, or you're dressing up for Halloween. There is from Patterns for Pirates, the Gone Batty top. It's like a, if you're saying it, it's everything. But if you're not, if you're just listening to this, then it is basically like a dolman sweater, jumper top, but the dolman part under your arm looks like bat wings. Yeah, that's something you can do. The next one is from Petite Stitchery Co. And this is a free add-on to some of their other patterns. And it's basically a flutter sleeve that you can add on to several of their other patterns. It is for the Juliet, Hibiscus and Mistletoe patterns. The last things I wanted to share are 2 crochet patterns. And I always try and include a couple of crochet or knit or various crafty other thing patterns. And today we're going with crochet. I have 2 for you. They are both for the sleevey things, the bolero-y sleevey bits, which are actually massive in the crochet and knit world at the moment. Everyone is making some sleeves. The first one that I have for you is called the Creepy Skull Sleeves, and it's available on Ravelry. This one is just so cool. And if you have a look at the people who've made it as projects, to show you here, they look really great. They look so cool with the little skulls on them. And then the other one, which is the Wastelander Mesh Shrug. And this one looks really great. This one also has instructions on how to properly size this for yourself. And it looks really, really great. I was actually thinking that in the future, maybe I should film some video content of me making an outfit out of some of these pattern roundup capsule wardrobes. If you can think of what outfit I should put together from this wardrobe or my other ones, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to know what you think. How could I put this together to make one outfit, the best outfit, the most versatile pieces to include in my wardrobe, or just the prettiest? Any whoosy howsy waddy, that is the end of today's pattern roundup. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for some whimsy goth patterns for other people to use, some fabrics, some things, please put them in the comments down below so everyone else can see it and we can all share the knowledge. Thanks for watching and see you later.